Welcome back to This Day in Irish History. I'm your host, Raymond Welsh. Before we dive into today's story, if you'd like to explore other significant events that happened on this day in Irish history, visit thisdayirishhistory.com. The link is in the episode description. Now, let's journey back to May 6th, 1882, a day of shocking political violence that became etched into the fabric of Irish history, the Phoenix Park murders. It was a quiet Saturday evening in Dublin's Phoenix Park, when a brutal and unexpected act of violence changed the course of Anglo-Irish relations. Lord Frederick Cavendish, freshly arrived from London, and only hours into his new role as Chief Secretary for Ireland, was walking with Thomas Henry Burke, the long-serving permanent Under-Secretary. Their conversation, one likely filled with cautious optimism for Ireland's future, was interrupted in the most savage way imaginable. From the shadows emerged members of a secretive and radical splinter group known as the Irish National Invincibles. Armed with surgical knives, they launched a ferocious assault. Within minutes, both Cavendish and Burke lay dead on the pathway. The attackers disappeared into the park, leaving behind a scene of horror and a country on the brink of political upheaval. To understand the gravity of this moment, one must look at the fragile political environment of Ireland in the 1880s. Tensions were high. The Land War, a widespread agrarian uprising against landlordism, had shaken rural Ireland. The British government, under Prime Minister William Ewart Gladstone, had been attempting a conciliatory approach, hoping to bring peace through reform. Charles Stewart Parnell, the leader of the Irish Parliamentary Party, had recently entered into a delicate political alliance with Gladstone's Liberals to advance Home Rule, the campaign for Irish legislative autonomy. Lord Cavendish's appointment was seen as part of that reconciliation process. Though not previously involved in Irish affairs, he was a trusted Gladstonian and had a reputation for decency and fairness. Thomas Burke, in contrast, had long been a controversial figure, seen by many Irish nationalists as the embodiment of British administrative control. The Invincibles, however, had not planned to kill Cavendish at all. Burke was their sole target. Cavendish simply had the misfortune of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. His murder collateral in a political execution. The reaction was swift and profound. Britain was stunned. Ireland was horrified. Even among radical nationalists, there was widespread condemnation. Charles Stewart Parnell was devastated. For a man who had carefully navigated the treacherous waters of parliamentary politics to bring Irish aspirations into the political mainstream, this act of violence risked undoing years of careful progress. Gladstone, grief-stricken by the loss of his friend Cavendish, responded not with further reform, but with repression. The so-called Kilmainham Treaty, a fragile truce between Parnell and the British government that had promised a path forward, was effectively shattered. In its place came coercion acts and police crackdowns. The nationalist cause suffered a severe setback. In the aftermath, a sweeping investigation led to the arrest of several Invincibles. The case became a cause célèbre, with courtrooms packed and headlines dominated by lurid testimony. The star witness was James Carey, a member of the group who turned informer. His detailed evidence led to the conviction and execution of 5 men. Carey himself would be assassinated the following year in a grim act of retribution, shot aboard a ship bound for South Africa. The Phoenix Park murders left an indelible mark. They illustrated the tragic consequences of extremism in a society already riven by division and mistrust. For Parnell and the constitutional nationalist movement, they were a political disaster, reinforcing fears in Britain that Ireland was ungovernable and violent by nature. Yet they also underscored the deep frustrations of a people long denied justice, and the desperate paths some chose when peaceful solutions seemed out of reach. Today, the site in Phoenix Park where Cavendish and Burke fell remains a solemn reminder of the high stakes and heavy costs in Ireland's path towards self-determination. The murders did not stop the push for Home Rule, but they cast a long shadow over the politics of the era, reminding future generations of the perils of political violence and the importance of dialogue, however fragile it may be. And thank you for joining me on this journey through Ireland's rich past. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, I'm Raymond Welsh. Slán